You know, I just love days like this. This weather is perfect. Don't you think so, Dominique?
Yeah, the arts festival taking place May 7th is going to be outside, right?
Yep, and hopefully it's just as beautiful a day as this. I actually did an interview with Jean Frank and Rich Rogers about the whole event. So if you guys are interested, maybe Dominique, you're interested?
Yeah, I'm going to go down there. Is it all day, you said, right?
Yep, from 10 to 5 in the afternoon. And for those of you who don't know, let's go check out this interview so you and also Dominique can find out more information, and hopefully we'll see you guys down there. So let's go check out that interview. Hi, I'm Karen Salinas from the Eagle's Eye, and today I'm here with Jean Frank and Rich Rogers to talk about the Norristown Arts Hill Festival. How are you guys today?
Great, thank you.
How are you?
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, so first off, for some of the people who might not know, what is Norristown Arts Hill initially?
You might say it's the kind of culmination of lots of thinking and talking and working for years until it formalized probably 2 years ago. Through conversations, there was a task force made up of business leaders and municipal, officials and members of the arts and culture community, really talking about this vision of, as part of helping revitalize our town over and over again, arts and culture have had kind of a foundation to help recreate that kind of vibrancy and excitement in a town. And so that really kind of formed and started moving forward, and last year in April we launched the Arts and Culture District, Norristown Arts Hill, to much success and acclaim. Close to 2,000 people attended, and filled with, really, we talk a lot about the celebration of our diversity of all kinds of influences. And so having everything from the Egyptian Coptic Youth Choir to, Father John D'Amico, who's an internationally recognized jazz pianist, to the local, I think it was a string group, the Stony
Creek Fiddlers.
Performing, members of the Norristown, high schools, musical performing, to ballet companies. I mean, it was really a wide celebration of the day. The same with arts and crafts, from pottery to jewelry to painting. And it kicks off, of course, the night before with a reception on the Hill, which is part of the fundraising efforts. Because to make something like this take place, it takes an enormous amount of time, and money to make it come together. But at the core of all of it was about Destination Norristown, or what's now Destination Norristown Arts Hill.
Okay, so this idea was processed with a long year, so it just didn't come out of nowhere, like, oh, let's make a
festival. No. A lot of preparation.
A lot of preparation, and a lot of models for other cities, municipalities, and towns across the country in terms of what's the way that we should go about doing it, where should it be located. And when you think about having an arts and culture district, people come to see the events, but then restaurants, places perhaps to shop, perhaps places to stay as districts start to mature. So it takes a long time to work through all those details, and then you have to launch it, and it's pretty much like raising a child. It's just, little steps along the way, and then you reach a certain maturity level, and then things kind of settle, and then you go to the next step. It's a long process.
Okay, so when are the dates for it, or when is it?
I'll take this one.
Yeah.
The Norristown Arts Hill Festival is on Saturday, May 7th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And the reception that Jean spoke of is the night before, May 6th from 5:30 to 7:30. The Arts Hill Festival takes place on DeKalb Street from Lafayette to Erie Street. The street will be completely closed off and will be lined with vendors, and up and down the hill we have different performance venues set up, starting with inside of the Center Theater, which is down at the base, in 208 DeKalb Street, where there'll be some children's theater taking place. About 10:30, 10:45 that kicks off.
Yeah, in the morning they're doing a performance on the 4th floor of the theater there.
Across the street from the Center Theater, we have sort of an impromptu set up there. In the dirt lot that's there, the Charles Moles area, there will be a gentleman named Michael Wood there, who's a wood carver, but not just any ordinary wood carver. He's one of those guys who uses the chainsaw. He starts off with a raw log and develops a beautiful, magnificent piece of work by the time he's finished, and using his hand tools to fine-tune what he's worked on. But Michael will be set up there inside of netting and maybe with some music. and be doing basically a performance of his artwork so that people can see. As we travel further up the hill, there's a spot called the Delucia Lot, where we'll have a large tent, 100 by 40 feet, with 2 stages inside, which is our main performance tent. It'll feature headlining groups such as this year the George Weldon Trio with jazz. We'll have dance ensembles in there, including Metropolitan Ballet, and what were some others we could name to put in there?
The Cabrini Dance Company.
Cabrini College Dance Ensemble will be in there.
We've heard from the Montgomery County Community College Dance Company, dance team. I'm trying to remember their exact names of people coming.
So there's a vast variety of performers.
There really is.
And where do these performers come from? Like, do you contact them, or do they is it kind of like a sign up, or how do you get these performers to come?
All of the above. We contact some of them. It started off last year where we contacted some through personal contacts or performers that we knew about just throughout the area. We were trying to do a local showcase of talent for the kickoff and the launch party last year. This year, some of those performers are returning to us, and others, because of the great success we had last year, just heard about the event, and they're contacting us to say, hey, how do we perform in this?
And it's important to add that what people don't understand is all these performances are free throughout the day. And for people especially of headliner caliber, to essentially volunteer their art for the day, where they share with people, is really quite a compliment to the district for people to say, well, normally we get X amount of money for performing for 30 minutes or 45 minutes, but for that day, we will come and perform for free as part of the celebration of what this means to Norristown and to the region. So we feel really good that in just our second year, we continue to draw that kind of caliber of talent.
An example of that is a group last year that we had, and if they're available this year, they will be with us again. They're called Soul Tempo, sort of a doo-wop gospel kind of combination, and a cappella as well. These guys came out of their busy schedule just to perform for us for 20 minutes last year, so it was incredible.
It really was. And this is after their first CD had released, and I believe they've released a second one, and so it's but in the middle of booking of that caliber of talent, and they gave us 20 minutes.
Now, how do we find someone like that? That was courtesy of Marty Gibbs from Sound of Norristown down on Main Street. He represents that band, and he's affiliated with some great performers of that caliber. So Marty was able to work that.
So there is definitely more performers, or more of a variety of performers from last year this year, because of the by them hearing and stuff. So that's
we've been contacted. I believe it's an Irish folk.
An Irish folk
trio. And
from the same woman who was part of the Stony Creek Fiddlers last year, Lane Hughes.
And that's part of it. There's such a diversity of
orchestra
all of us who work in the field that people say, oh, wait,